Professor K, I'm so glad you could join me. Please, let's go through some of the these products, these Cerule products, because I've been very much in, I've been doing a bit of research and following a bit about these products since I met you, but particularly interested in the StemEnhance Ultra. The reason why, when I was going through my first treatments, I was on a stimulant sort of drug to try and stimulate more stem cells being produced while I was before I hadn't collected for my stem cell transplant. So, and it worked very well, apart from I was fasting and lifting at the same time, which also helps. But the overall result was that my stem cell viable count was 99.4%. So I was very impressed with that. So since then, I haven't seen anything else that is even marketed towards that, like producing more stem cells. So you can tell us a bit more about this?
Absolutely. So StemEnhance Ultra is an extract derived from a blue-green cyanobacter that lives in this one lake in North America. It happens to be Upper Klamath Lake in Oregon. And it's a cyanobacter which we just refer to as AFA because its whole Latin name is hard to say, basically. AFA. Basically, the company that's joint ventured with the Cerule company harvests the AFA from the lake and puts it through a process by which it is cleaned up, filtered, made safe for human consumption, and activated to do what it does. And then the Cerule company, in its infinite wisdom, allows people like myself and like yourself to market the product to end consumers. And that's a very, very great thing because it's a great way of getting this product in front of a lot of people and helping a lot of people. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do, is to help people.
Yeah.
What does the stuff do? Okay. The active ingredient is what's called an L-selectin ligand, or ligator, if you like. Think of a ligator as like a pair of scissors. Think of L-selectin as a chain or a rope. What does that rope do? That rope ties an adult stem cell which is bound permanently to your bone marrow to a daughter cell. So you've got your bone marrow structure and that's got adult stem cells permanently affixed. And when you want to release an adult stem cell, that master or mother adult stem cell divides into two so that there's a daughter cell, but there's this chain or rope that keeps it bound there.
Yeah.
We need something to cut that to release the adult stem cell so that it can then go around in the blood and find tissues in your body that need renewal, repair, replacement. And that's what those adult stem cells do, among other things. There are a number of naturally occurring, naturally existing L-selectin ligators, scissors, and this product is one of them. And that ostensibly is what this product does. It causes your bone marrow to release more of your own adult stem cells than it otherwise would, without actually reducing the number of adult stem cells you have in your bone marrow ready to reproduce. So you can never run out. People often ask me, well, why do we need that? Because, I mean, if we have a natural system that releases our adult stem cells when we need them, why would we need to do anything? Well, the answer is this. Every year that you're alive, that rope, that chain gets thicker, more robust, harder to cut.
Okay.
It's programmed into your genes. It's supposed to happen. Why? So that you age, become decrepit, and eventually die. What this product does basically is it gets a pair of scissors and goes, nope, I don't think so. Chop, release it. Isn't that fantastic?
That's
awesome.
Fantastic. So that was actually going to be my next question. Actually, don't we do that naturally? I mean,
yeah,
yeah. But as you said, like it does, as we age, obviously that efficiency gets less and less. So what about, what is it? I mean, it's actually derived from a fungus, a plant.
No,
Is that right?
not quite. A lot of people, because the company itself refers to the stuff as algae, because, I mean, I was actually at this lake in Oregon last week. I was there, Klamath Lake, with the company. We were visiting the company that does the harvesting and makes the stuff, among other things. And it just looks like green stuff in the water. It actually looks like threads, like bits of grass that's already been cut and it's just floating around in the top of the water column.
Yeah.
And you can actually like get your finger in there and hook it out and it will hang over you, just like, but this is not a plant at all. It's not a fungus. It's not a plant. These are colonies of what's called a blue-green cyanobacter, which is a whole class of things that are neither plants nor animals. Neither are they bacteria. They're a class of bacteria. In fact, cyanobacter were the first living things that really developed on the planet to speak of. So they're an ancient thing. They've been around since the beginning, basically. So that's what they are. They are colonies of bacteria from which we derive the active ingredient that just so happens to be produced by this particular species in that particular lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does this affect our telomeres?
Right, that's a great question. When your adult stem cells are released into your bloodstream from your bone marrow where they're kept, those adult stem cells have an enzyme inherently in them that's called telomerase. Telomerase rebuilds telomeres. Great, you might say. What's a telomere? Well, here's what it is. On the end of every one of your chromosomes is this bit of DNA at the end. It's like the aglet on the end of a shoelace, the plastic sleeve that stops the shoelace from fraying. That's the best way to think about telomeres, I think. Now, every time your cells divide into two in your body to replace ones that are dying off and to keep the number of cells the same, to maintain your body function, every time those cells divide, that aglet, that telomere, gets a little bit shorter every time. When it gets to a certain critically short length, that cell line will no longer divide. It will stop dividing. It's a term we call senescence. And it's also the word that we derive the word senile from. It means that that cell line is finished being useful to reproduce itself. So when those cells die off, they're not replaced. And those tissues go missing in your body.
Okay.
Unless an adult stem cell comes along to replace them in time. That's why having more adult stem cells released is a great thing. That telomerase in that adult stem cell means that when that stem cell differentiates into a brand new skin cell, eyeball cell, heart cell, brain cell, anything except hair follicle cells, DC, it seems. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. An adult stem cell can become anything actually except sperm or eggs.
Okay.
When that happens, that new cell that's just been produced by an adult stem cell that's just turned into a new adult cell, at that stage, the telomerase is ejected and that new cell line starts its division process, its lifespan, but it starts full length. Okay. In other words, that new cell has a biological age 0. Now, I am not allowed to say this is the fountain of youth. So usually what I do is I say I'm not allowed to say this is the fountain of youth. And then I've said fountain of youth 3 times in the last minute without saying this is the fountain of youth. And there's 4.
Yeah.
How's that?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it? I mean, it seems to be, I mean, I've only been using it for a short time, but I do feel pretty good on it. So, and I sort of judge everything on how I feel when I'm taking it. And of course, I also do blood tests, which we'll be doing this week. So these also come with, so actually talking about the word, it comes from senile. So this cognitive function, any sort of benefits to brain function as well?
Yeah, I think so. Again, we are not allowed to make any therapeutic claims with respect to this product at all. This is an American company. We all follow the same rules wherever we are around the world. And the FDA will not allow us to make any therapeutic claim of any kind. We have to stop at saying this stuff does exactly what it says it does, and that is it causes your bone marrow to release your adult stem cells. And then from that point, if you understand what I've said so far, you're already sold.
Yeah.
And you will go to that link directly above DC's head, dcfit.cerule.com, and you will order it. We don't have to sell it to you because you've already bought it if you understood what I said. If you haven't, then I suggest you rewind to the beginning and start again. Do that as many times as you have to until it sinks in, basically.
Yeah, that in itself is just absolutely staggering what it's designed to do anyway. Of course, we're not allowed to say it does exactly what it does, but it's absolutely brilliant product. And exactly. I've seen similar product. Well, I was given a similar product from the hospital while going through treatment. So I can tell you that it does. These things do work. It does stimulate your body to release more stem cells because I've had it tested, and it absolutely works wonders, especially when you are going through treatments. Any kind of treatments that you have, you need as much help as you can get, to rebuild your cells.
Absolutely. So in effect, what we're saying is pretty much any condition, complaint, health concern that you may have, so long as that is not a genetic problem, this stuff has the potential to affect you in a very positive way. And even if your problem is a genetic problem, this can still help with symptomology. That is not a therapeutic claim. I'm just telling you what we experience.
Yeah.
People who take enough of this stuff for long enough, we suggest a 6-month trial before you even think about it. But you take enough of this stuff for 6 months, religiously, for want of a better term, you will be one of those people who jumps up on your rooftop and sings about it.
Yeah.
We know that because we've seen it again and again and again and again and again.
And now, apart from the StemEnhance Ultra, other two products that you recommend taking together, the PlasmaFlo and the Cyactiv. So, I mean, PlasmaFlo, obviously, it sort of speaks for itself. It's supposed to help with blood flow. Is there anything else you can tell us about that?
Absolutely. That is an enzyme-based preparation. The enzymes in it are designed to target a specific protein and break it down. That protein is one called fibrin. What is fibrin? Fibrin is like a cotton wool plug or a spider web plug inside your capillaries, or if you're American, capillaries. What does that do? It allows blood plasma to flow past those plugs, but it blocks formed elements like red cells, white cells, adult stem cells, and bacteria, viral particles to some degree.
Yeah.
It's a normal part of your immune function if you're inflamed. It's supposed to happen, and when it happens acutely, it's useful. The problem is our lifestyles today lead us to be, many of us, chronically inflamed, and as such, our microvasculature is constantly gummed up with this spider webby sludge. Ergo, if you're going to invest in the StemEnhance to release the adult stem cells, it behooves you to clear their path to get to the tissues that they need to get to. That's what PlasmaFlo does. It dissolves that stuff away. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah. I mean, everything, that's just the way the human body works. So it needs different hormones and nutrients to make everything else work. So it makes sense that it would, this would obviously enhance the StemEnhance as well. Okay, so what about the Cyactiv? What would be the benefits of this one?
Cyactiv is another derivative of another blue-green cyanobacter, a different one.
Okay.
Actually happens to be spirulina, which everyone will have probably heard of.
Yeah.
This is not whole spirulina. This is not dried spirulina. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't do that, personally. It won't actually do what this stuff does. It won't help. And while spirulina contains all sorts of nutrients, it also contains all sorts of things you do not want to be putting into your body naturally.
Yeah.
So this stuff is a blue pigment that's derived from spirulina, which happens to tone down two separate pro-inflammatory pathways in your body. So we've got the StemEnhance to release the adult stem cells. We've got the PlasmaFlo to clear the way for the stem cells to get there. And now we've got Cyactiv to stop the situation gumming up again. And also to reduce your inflammatory overburden, which actually inflammation is the root cause of almost all the chronic diseases of Western society. So we're talking heart disease, most forms of cancer, most forms of dementia, diabetes. They're all inflammatory processes. Yeah. And toning down your inflammation is a great thing. So 3 highly synergistic, targeted products. These are not nutritional supplements, although they are called that because the FDA requires them to be labeled as something if they're not prescription drugs. So they're just called nutrition supplements. They're not. They're nutraceuticals. They have a specific effect, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, I call them dietary enhancers because on the carnivore diet, you don't really need supplements, but
no, you're quite right. You don't.
Something that's going to enhance. Enhancers are always good to have. So I call them dietary enhancers because I feel like they have enhanced my diet. I have a good carnivore diet, and these have just simply enhanced that.
Just one more thing before we finish, DC. If you are the sort of person who's more interested in earning money than you are in spending money, all you need to do is let DC know that that's the case for you. We have a program for that too. We are looking for like-minded folks, associates to join us in our journey of really doing the PR for this stuff. This is not a sales job. In fact, we don't really want salespeople. We just want people who are passionate about health, fitness, and helping people who are prepared to see what we've got going here and go, you know what, I could tell people about that and let them make their own decision as to whether they want to go there or not. Especially, by the way, if you live in Sydney. We are targeting Sydney right now because Sydney is one of the areas where there's almost nobody that's doing the job there. So it's yours for the taking if you want it. Anyway, there you go.
And again, as we talked about, these things. I think I wish I had these when I was going through treatments as well. I would recommend them for anyone in any kind of chronic disease. They would certainly help. They could certainly improve your treatments, I would say, anyway.
You bet. And also, if you are apparently fit, well, and healthy, here's my question to you. How long would you like that to continue?
Exactly. Yeah.
Get on the stuff.
That's right. Great. Exactly right. Because it's all about longevity. You want to be fit and healthy for the remainder of your life, not just the first part of it. Okay, so there you have it, guys. 3 brilliant products that I think do work well, and I wish I had when I was going through my treatments. It would have certainly made things a lot easier, and I think would have given me a much better result much earlier. So we've got Stem Cell Enhance Ultra, PlasmaFlo, and the Cyactiv. Now, just to clarify, the Cyactiv is not actually spirulina. It is an active ingredient derived from spirulina, because there are many other things that you don't want that you get in spirulina itself. So this has actually been one of my pet hates, you know, many years in the fitness industry. You know, spirulina became a bit of a trend, and it's kind of one of those things that's kind of hard to kill, because there's a lot of things in there you do not want. So it's something I've always been against myself, taking spirulina. But this is an extract from the spirulina, the actual, because there are good and bad in most of these things. And of course, you take one of the good things out, and you know, it makes a big difference. That way you don't get all the bad stuff that goes with it. Now, these are 3 products that I recommend, whether you are healthy or have a chronic condition or not, because it's all about longevity. You know, you want to be fit and young as long as you can. If you are chronically ill, like I was, fighting follicular lymphoma, okay, and still fighting follicular lymphoma, cancer is a horrible disease. Diabetes is horrible as well, and many other diseases that lead to far worse other conditions, such as dementia and other things as well. So there's not many products out there that I actually recommend, but these would be 3 that I do. Apart from that, we can talk about in other videos as well. I do recommend a couple of others, but very few supplements on the market will actually do as they say they do. There's also very few supplements on the market that actually have what they are selling as well. You know, most supplements will have a very minute amount or trace amount in these pills, and they will market it as as a dietary supplement. So if you are interested in taking these products or trying these products, please, you know, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and you can check the link in the description. It will take you to the website, and there's more information on these products as well. And I wish you all good health.